All right. This is a quick demo of how to use Beyond20 with Roll20. The first thing you'll want to do is on Beyond20, you'll need to create an account. Pretty straightforward. I won't go over that. Once you're in, you can come to collections and you can simply go to my characters. And then from here, you can create a new character. You can see I've got a whole bunch here. And once you create a new character, so I'll just jump in, you can do quick builds, randomize, or standard. Standard is ideally what I like to use. I get to go through it in detail. And if you're new, obviously, ideal for beginners, showing the help text is useful. I will just leave that unchecked for now and click standard. And you can see across the top, it's like a character creation wizard that is just going to walk you through your selections. It's really great. There's options here in terms of the content that will be available in your character creation. So I strongly recommend having homebrew content because our DM, and I do this in my games, I create content and then it lets me add it to my players' inventories. So I always have that one checked. And then the rest of this is totally up to the DM. I personally turn these ones off. I do like the non-core D&D content, so that is referencing specifically Unearthed Arcana. If you are familiar with that, it will give you access to that stuff, as well as I believe, actually, I think Tasha's is now considered core D&D content because that had a lot of stuff from the Unearthed Arcana, but I digress. Dice rolling, not really necessary. I mean, you can turn that off because we're going to be using Roll20. Optional features. So this allows, again, for some of the customizations from, say, Unearthed Arcana or I believe in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything as well. And if you want to customize your origin, you can do that. This we get on direction from our DM, whether we're going to use XP or milestone. And same with hit point type. I leave these two checked. Show leveled scaled spells. Highly recommend keeping that on. I believe we're using the variant encumbrance, so we would select that. We are not ignoring coin weight, so we leave that off. And then this is a preference in terms of on your character sheet. Do you like your modifier on top as the big number or the small number? And then public is whether or not other people can be your character. I'm just going to call this one for Jonathan's game. I can always rename it later. And click next. I won't spend a lot of time going through all this, but you can just, pick from here. It'll list the details that you get with that character. And if you want, you just click choose race. And then this is the modality that you'll follow throughout the rest of the character creation phase. Is you'll just have a header. And then if there's a choice that you need to make, you'll see it highlighted in blue with an exclamation mark. And so, I can choose my option here. Let's just go with gold. All right. And you can read information here by expanding the menus, so on and so forth. And then you can choose your class. So I'll just go with cleric because actually, no, let's go with something I know. Let's do a dragonborn monk. All right. Actually, I won't because some of you might want to be spellcasters. So I'm going to I'm going to cancel that. Don't want to be a monk. Let's go with, I'll just choose paladin. A dragonborn paladin. All right. And so then now I have some choices to make. And you can see I can choose, 2 proficiencies. So I'll just go with intimidation is always good with a paladin. And, I don't know, medicine. No, I'll do persuasion. I'll be a fast talker. And again, if you want to read more, if I wanted to multi-class, I would come back at any point and click this and it would walk me through basically the same wizard for the paladin. If I want, I can come over to the optional feature manager, and this is all from Tasha's, I believe. And so I can just check these boxes, and then these will show up in options. If with those checked, they will show up over here if I ever have to make a choice. Those options from Tasha's will be available to me. I think I probably won't see them until I go to level 3 or something. And then here's your abilities. And, you can do a standard array where you just, pick, so if I'm a paladin, I'll go, 15 in strength, and then constitution will be my next one, and so on and so forth. You can do that. There is the point buy system where, every time you pick something, you lose points, and then you can end up with a min-maxed character. So if I wanted to, actually I don't know, etc. You can do that. Or you can go to the manual rolled feature. And, so this is where you have to use the dice. So I'll use dice. And basically what you do is, so you have a group here. And so it rolls the dice. I have these funky looking dice. And so I can, this is the first roll and so forth. And I can just do this and roll across. Randomized. And then from there, actually not too shabby on a lot of things. So, and then from there, I can just assign where I want this to go. So as a paladin, I can do that. So, some high risk. I think charisma is the spell casting ability for paladins, if I forget. And so you can assign it that way. And then, you would just apply the ability scores. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there, and then apply ability scores. And then down here you can see your totals along with your modifier from any class or racial bonuses that you might get. And then I can go to next. I can choose my background. I can do a custom background, or I can pick any of the ones from the material. So I'll go with let's go with haunted one. I did something really bad and it just haunts me. And so, what I'll do Arcana as my skill proficiencies, and maybe religion. And then, I can choose my languages here. And, it just goes through when you make the selection. And if I want, I can just add some suggested characteristics, randomize, or I can add, I refuse to become a victim, and so you won't see any update when you click it. That's the really annoying thing. So you just see it down here. It's like, okay, that's added. You can go down, try to and you can add as many as you want. I have a child to protect. No, I don't want that. There's evil in me. Sounds good. And I assume the worst in people. Sure, why not? All right, there we go. So there's some quick traits I've added to my character. And you can always add custom ones later if you want. Those are just for guidance. And then you have a choice of gold or equipment, again, at the DM's direction, whichever one we want to do. If you check equipment, you get some simple starting stuff. So maybe I'll go with a paladin, a martial weapon, and a shield. So I'll just go with a longsword. There it is. And any simple weapon, maybe. What do I want? A dagger, like my blades. And then I'll pick, and you can always uncheck because it'll tell you what's in it. And I'll take the Explorer's Pack. Chainmail, Holy Symbol. Let's go with an amulet. There we go. And then Haunted one. So I get the Monster Hunter's Pack. One trinket of significance. Choose one or roll on the Gothic trinkets table in this appendix. So I think that's because it's from Tasha. Or something else, I can't remember. And a silver coin, etc. So that's what I get for my background. And then I can just add starting equipment, and that will put it in my inventory. If I want to add any personal items or anything else, I can do that here at the DM's discretion, etc. Currency, if the DM wants to give us anything off the top, we can add it here. And then you just click next, and you view your character sheet. And click OK. If you want, by the way, you can upload an image of your character sheet when you're creating it. But this is your character sheet. And so you can see, it's got your saving throws, your passive abilities. And then this is what I was talking about with the choice of, modifiers or the base stat appearing on top or below. And your armor, weapon, etc., skills. And you can track everything here, how many times I use my Divine Sense or Divine Smite, my lay hands, etc. And it's just all sorted very neatly here under actions, bonus actions. So when you're prepping for your turn, it's great because you can see okay, if I want to take the attack action, this is what I have going for me. And then what bonus actions do I have? Well, right now this is it because I'm level 1. And then features and traits, you can see all of that. If I want to update my description with my size and characteristics, I can do that. Anytime you want to edit, you just hit the anvil up here and it will take you back to the builder. So, if I wanted to go to my character description, go down here and, add the flavor to my character, alignment, etc. So we'll just say, I don't know, chaotic neutral. Why not? And then faith, obviously, would take direction from the DM on there, lifestyle, all that business. So yeah, you can do that, and then anytime just click the character sheet, and it'll bring you back, and so now you can see that's updated. And then there's the personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. I forgot to call those out in the tables. Maybe you were noticing. And yeah. So now, and then, it shows any resistances you have here, conditions, and, when you're playing, you can keep track of your hit points here just by adding the number, and so heal or damage, etc. If the DM gives you inspiration, you just check that box and you've got that. And you've got your short and long rest buttons here. So if I want to take a short rest, I can reset maximum hit points or use my 1 hit die and then take a short rest. And then I think one of the short rules was you have to have a healing kit. So then I would come into here. I'd have to add it to my inventory, but you can see it keeps track of the quantity. So is there anything that I have more than one? Yeah, rations. So if I click here, and you can see I can simply, so if this were a healing kit, I would just do that. And yeah, now you can see it's updated already. And as soon as I click anywhere off, so I'm down, 1 ration kit. If I want to equip my shield, that will, you can see my armor class updating from 11 to 13 when I put my shield on and equip my longsword and my dagger. So now when I go back to my actions and I look under attack, I have a few more options now that I have equipped those items. And you can see there's the plus I have to hit. Now this little B that's popping up, This is the next thing I'm going to talk about. This is the Beyond20 Chrome extension, and you can find that simply just by typing Beyond20, and you go there, and you can see it's already installed, so I would have to remove it, but otherwise it would say install, and you just hit that bad boy, and then yeah, Bob's your uncle. You're set up, and so now when we go into Roll20, so if I go to launch a game, for example, I'll go into this one where I'm a player, not a DM. All right, so we're in the middle of some serious combat here, and if I look for my character, I believe he is over here somewhere. Bad choice. Because I forget where my character went to. I thought my character was in here. Doesn't really matter though. I don't even have to have my character selected. But anytime I want to roll, I just come over to my character sheet, and if I want to attack, I just hover my mouse over whatever the ability is, and I click that little B button. And then it rolls my attack, so I rolled a 9. Now, if that was gonna, and it shows you the breakdown there of what you rolled, and if I wanted to roll the damage, then I can just click that button. That is the beauty of Beyond20. Super easy to manage. So if I need to, keep track of any spell slots, there would be where it says spell here. So for example, if I go into edit, and I just bump up my level to level 3, because I believe at level 3 I get some spells. And let me, I don't know, let's just do dueling. And I've got my spell casting now and my sacred oath. Let's just go vengeance, because why would you pick anything else as a paladin? No, I'm kidding. And so now when I go back to my character sheet, there's the spells tab here, and so I can see I've got 3 spell slots. If I want to cast Bane, I cast Bane, it marks my spell slot, and then from there, well, because of the way Bane works, Hunter's Mark, I didn't add any. But if there were an attack spell, it would roll it, and it would show up in Roll20. But anytime, this is the other cool thing. So if a DM asks, what's this spell you want to cast? You can just click on the text and, see, here's what it is. And you have the cast on VT on virtual tabletop or display. Maybe I just, before casting it, I want to display it. And so it will come over. And then everybody in Roll20 can read, in the chat what that spell is, and the DM can say, yeah, you can use that here. No, you can't. If I can use it, I'm going to cast it on the virtual tabletop, and voila, there's the roll. So it does bludgeoning damage, so when I hit next with Hunter's Mark, I get that bonus, whatever. That's kind of a bad spell to use for that. It would have been like Firebolt would have been better or something like that. But yeah, so that's the gist. Anything that's on here, right? If I go into equipment and I click on my amulet, and I'm because maybe I picked up an item, I can display that in the virtual tabletop as well. So basically anything that's in your character sheet, inventory, features, traits, when you click on it and open this flyaway panel on the right, you got this display in the virtual tabletop. You get to keep track of your inventory. Your coinage is all here in currency. Super easy to add and update. It's amazing. And then, yeah, again, when you want to, roll damage, you can see there's my dagger, etc. My people are going to come in here and they're like, who is rolling what and why? So, yeah. That is basically D&D Beyond, Beyond20 Chrome plugin, and Roll20 in a nutshell. There's probably something that I've missed, but yeah, that's how you do it. If I want to make a saving throw, just come over here to my saving throw, click on that, and you can see it rolls my saving throw over there. Very, very cool. Way to integrate with Roll20. It has your walking speed there, your proficiency bonus. Let's say the DM assigns me, some loot. We, kill the dragon and I get my magic item. So I can just go to equipment tab, manage equipment, and then I can just search for, ring of protection. And there's my ring of protection, and I can just add that. I can close that out. And there's my ring of protection, and I can equip that. And if I fly open, tells me the stats about it. And if I need to attune, I click on attune, and voila, it shows me my attuned items. And in 5e, you can only have 3. So there we go. Armor class up by 1. Sweet. And that's how easy it is to add stuff to your inventory. And the DM has in D&D Beyond can create all kinds of stuff. A quick thing about if you are DMing, I'll just throw this in there. So you can go over to, so if I go to our game rules, and let's say I go to monsters and I want to search for a particular monster, and let's just say I'm looking for the Demogorgon here. All the stat blocks now, if I go to the details page, check it out. The Beyond20 app has added all of their, made their stat block rollable. I don't have to do anything. So if I need to roll their initiative and attack, I just click that. And there's their initiative. Now, ideally, what you do when you do that is, I hope that didn't go into the turn order. You click on your token, and then you do that, and that's how it adds your turn to the window. The DM can always, in Roll20, just manually add it. But generally, what you do is you click on your token, and then you click on your initiative roll, whether you're a character or whether you're the DM and rolling for the Demogorgon. And then, all their attacks are here. So if I want to, do a battle axe attack, that comes through. And if I hit, then I can just, roll the damage here. Or, if I want to just say, okay, you take 14 straight up, but there's 16. Woo! So yeah, that was a monster hit. That would take away a lot of my health as a level 3 paladin. So yeah, and if you need to modify, you can always create a monster and take the Demogorgon and change it. It's lots of cool stuff, but that is another video. Yeah, it's that's it in a nutshell.